Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is a big day for Traded today. After several months of research, testing, and real trading logic, I'm finally here to present you ORB Revolution EA, a next generation expert advisor built on one of the most robust concepts in trading, which are breakouts and more specifically, opening range breakouts. In this video, I'm going to show you what ORB Revolution really is, to talk really about the strategy that is behind and how this EA turns that concept into a disciplined, risk-controlled, automated framework. Well, through the core parameters, I'll explain the real trading panel and what each metric actually means, and we'll go through detailed backtesting step by step, not just equity curves, but the logic behind them. And to finish, I'll run a full historical backtest on NASDAQ, so you can see exactly how the system behaves in one of the most demanding markets. There's no hype, there's no shortcuts. This is a really professional trading framework built for traders who care about consistency, risk control, and transparency. So let's get started. Meanwhile, I'm counting on you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hit the bell button so you can receive our new video notification. Let's start. At a high level, ORB Revolution is really designed first and foremost for firm traders. Every component on the system is built around capital preservation, is built around rule compliance, and execution discipline. All trades are protected by a structured stop loss and take profit logic, and we have an integrated drawdown modules, which can help us even to pause or to completely stop trading when limits are reached. We have also a news and holiday filter to ensure we're not really trading during unpredictable market conditions. So it helps us to, frankly speaking, get out of the market when it's needed and get back in when we can. Also, inside this ORB, we have a new obfuscation model that will help really randomize the execution timing and to hide the stop loss and take profit and help somehow to mask the intent, reduce the pattern protection, and avoid exposing sensitive level to your brokers. All this information and more you can find read on the website. You have all the details about the system and how it works, the user guideline, and everything you need. This is not just a simple ORB EA, it's really a professional trading framework engineered to survive first and then to perform. Let's jump to the screen so I can talk to you more about the EA, the inputs, and how it works. Before looking at the results, let's briefly explain the open range breakout strategy. The idea behind the ORB is simple, but it's a powerful idea. During the first part of a trading session, the market establishes a range of balance. And basically, this range represents early participation, so liquidity discovery and positioning by the major players. When this initial range is defined, the breakout above or below is often a signal, a shift from balance to directional intent. And in this case, when the price breaks out of the range with sufficient momentum, frequently it will lead to a continuation driven by trapped traders, stop orders, and institutional flow. What makes ORB really a long-time viable strategy is that it's not predictive, it's reactive. It's not guessing direction. We're letting the market show its hands first and then responding when conditions are met. ORB Revolution have the logic to execute this in precision. The range is clearly defined, volatility and trend filters are applied, and trades are taken only when the breakout meets strict quality criteria, which we're going to talk about in the next section. As you can see, for example, here I'm running a backtest on the EA, and is not trading constantly. Sometimes he's blocked by the filters. Sometimes, like here, for example, I don't have enough volatility, so I'm not taking that trade. So this EA really waits patiently for high probability momentums so they can execute the trade. And in case this trade is taken and it is taken, let's say, a losing trade, we have all what is needed so we can control it. The trade have a stop loss and also the system have a drawdown limiter in which they can act to protect our capital and to protect the account we have. So this is how ORB is meant to be traded, structured, selective, and repeatable. Now, as you have saw a little bit how it works on the screen, let me jump to the inputs, explain more in details how things goes on. All right, let's jump to the details. I just loaded the EA on my screen with the default parameters. So this is just for the demo purposes. It's not a real set, so pay attention to this. I'm gonna first talk about the panel of ORB Revolution. It's a panel that you can move out. You don't have space, you can just minimize it and so on. So it's kind of convenient. It has different sections. The range information, the top section, is where the EA defined the opening range session. So we can see the start and the cutoff. We can see also the high, low of the range and the total range size. While the range is being built, the status basically is in building mode. And when it's built, it have the different status as built already. And where we are, let's say, waiting to start the building, the status will be in waiting. This ensures every decision is based on a clear, defined, and fixed market structure, no moving targets. The second part is the breakout and reversal engine. They are quite the same. This EA basically handles the configuration of breakout differently than the reversal, and we're going to talk about it later when we talk about strategies. So inside the breakout engine, we can tell us basically whether the EA allow to trade breakout or not. So we're waiting here for a breakout. It will tell us which filter is currently active. So for example, time and trend are not active, are skipped, while direction and volatility, we're just waiting a decision when we're gonna start the trades. And basically, filter can show the details here if we are trading or not. As example, I'm not trading a Saturday or a Sunday where I'm registering this video. So for example, day filter here is a fail. That's what we would see here inside this panel. The same is also for reversals, where we're going to see the different filter information. And one additional filter for the reversal is whenever we have a breakout that is in profit, if we should or not take a reversal. The days and news filter are really simple. Days is really what day you want to trade during the week. It is configurable in the EA. And the news filter is basically can help us to first skip the high impact news, skip the holiday news where we don't have volume and breakout strategy basically don't work well. And we can also take actions on those news. Whenever we have news, we can stop trading before 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever, and restart trading after that. In today's trades, you can clearly see whether the trade was a breakout or reversal, the direction, the entry price, the stop loss, and the take profit, the current PRL, and the trade status. So if it is done, if it's closed manually, if it's closed by the drawdown limiter, and so on. So everything is transparent, no hidden logic or guesswork here. For the drawdown status, this one is the most important section. Here you can see the daily drawdown limit on which has already been used and how much remains and the exact progress percentage. So here I have 45% of my drawdown that has been already took. The EA tracks equity in real time and will automatically stop trading once the limit is reached. This is critical for prop firm compliance, for example, and risk is controlled first, performance comes second. One thing you need to know about drawdown, you can launch multiple ORB Revolution EA on the same account, and only one of those EA will have that drawdown basically monitored, and it monitors the drawdown for all the other EAs. And whenever you're gonna launch multiple EAs with drawdown active, you're gonna get an error message that there's only one EA that should handle drawdown. Why we have designed this and why this architecture? Frankly speaking, it's really to have one master that controls the entire drawdown of the account and to prevent any, let's say, conflict between different EAs and so on. So it's designed like so to protect you the most and to protect your account the most. The obfuscator status. So here I have it on, it can be off. So when enabled, the EA randomizes execution timing and uses virtual stop loss and take profit if you wish. This helps mask execution patterns and avoid exposing sensitive level to the broker. It's an extra layer of protection for serious traders. And finally, the performance part. Here it's empty because my account is new and I didn't really run yet ORB Revolution on it. But the section ranks strategy based on the recent performance, so the last 30 days, allowing you to quickly identify what's working and what's not. And the goal here is visibility. You always know what the system is doing and why it's doing it. Frankly speaking, this panel is not just cosmetic. It's a real-time decision dashboard that show you exactly how the EA thinks, how it's allowed to do, and when it's blocked from trading. So this is a great addition to the EA. You can simply, if you don't have space and you don't need it, just close it or just minimize it, you can get it back. So I hope this will bring some additional value and real-time feedback to you on what is the current EA status and what we are doing. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the parameters and how everything works. So let me just open the parameters and I'll go through them quickly. All of them are basically in logic groups. So I'll start with the general, where I have basically the magic number, the strategy name, the lock level, and to show information or not. And in case you have a bigger screen, you can choose a larger scale for your information panel. Just one thing you need to pay attention here is the strategy name. It's something new that I have introduced in this EA. Basically, we have the habit to forget what magic number we have chosen for which strategy. And later, when we want to know how did this strategy perform, it's a little bit difficult to know all the magic number related to it inside our account. So in this EA, basically, we handle it via strategy name. So as example, I can call the strategy NASDAQ New York ORB. It will be always NASDAQ New York ORB, whatever magic number it's chosen for the EA. This EA will know that all those trades are related to the strategy and it will show inside the performance panel below based on the strategy name. So this is something you need to pay attention to. Let's jump to the range setting. Range setting is something basically basic. So we have just the start hour, the end hours of the range, and the closing minute, which will give us somehow something like this on the screen. So start hour, and the close. We can choose to close all the trades when we get to this limit or not. We can also shift the range extreme with points. This is basically good to anticipate for, let's say, spread and so on. And you can draw the range and give it the color that you feel goes well on your screens. Next are the general trading settings. We have two types of trades. We can just do an immediate breakout from the range, or we can wait the candle close outside the range. So we can choose this from the first two parameter, and we can choose on which time frame. So for example, I'll wait for the 5-minute candle to close outside the range or the 15-minute candle and so on. I have the possibility to activate breakout and to activate reversals. For example, I need just to trade reversals. In this case, I will deactivate my breakout and just activate my reversals. I can do one of them or both. Pay attention, you deactivate both, no trades will be taken. You have an option also whenever the breakout is in profit, there is no need to go and, let's say, tackle the reversal. So we just close it out or we put it as done. We can work on allowing buys and allowing sells because for some strategy, let's say for gold 2025, frankly speaking, if we were only on buy mode, it is a much more profitable strategy than buy and sell. So this can be also configurable. And finally, the ATR. This is used in the volatility filter for both breakout and reversal. It's not a common ATR, it's a modified ATR that I worked on for the last period that will give a best volatility results than a normal ATR. Let's jump to the breakout trade settings and the reversal. I'm not going to go through the reversal because they are the same. So I'm just going to explain that the breakout, and you have the same in the reversals. So for the breakout, first thing, we're going to define the volume. We can choose it as fixed, risk from balance, equity free margin, or risk in money. You can put the information here. So let's say fixed at 0.01, or let's say I want just to risk, for example, $100 per trade. I'm going to choose my stop loss. Stop loss is basically a percentage of the range size. So for example, 0.5, it means I'll put it at the middle of the range. The take profit also, it's in RSM. So for example, if I have 4, it means I'm going to put my take profit 4 times the range size away from the entry. I can use time filter. So whenever a breakout occurs, if it is not inside this time filter, we're not going to take the trade. The trade will just be ignored. Also, we're going to use a volatility filter. We have multiple options here. We can even choose to trade or not to trade. Let's say if the range is so big, but basically I don't want to trade breakout. All the volume or momentum is already done. Or I can trade whenever, let's say, the range is sufficiently good. For example, a range between 15 and 50 starting New York session on NASDAQ. Well, it's a good range to trade, so I take it like this. And also you have the volatility condition that you can change between range max, range min, or a range between MN and MX. So we have all the needed info to have your volatility. Again, this volatility is based on a modified ATR that is embedded inside the CA. The trend filter is a little bit complex to explain. It's based on gravity. It's based on Bollinger Band. I have the habit to say gravity band. And for those who didn't yet buy gravity bands, go check it. It's maybe not the video about gravity band, but we have done a really good profit last 4 months. Go check it. And let's get back to ORB. So that trend filter is based on Bollinger Bands, on 2 Bollinger Bands. The way how I calculate basically if it's a trend or not, it's a little bit complicated. All what you need to know that I take 2 Bollinger Bands, and based on the current price that we have, I will define if we are in a trending condition or not. So maybe I'll make a video later on to explain a little bit about it, but for the moment, I'll just stay at this level. And finally, you have all what is related to trade management. So the break even, trading stop, you can trade stop even based on the range, let's say size, or you can do really the stops based on the candle. So for example, you take, let's say, trade stop on the last 5 candle, the EA will check the low for, let's say you are in a buy position, the EA will check the low on the last 5 candles, and your stop loss will be there. And you have to take partial profits that you can define, and where the EA can basically close partial of your positions. I'm not going to go on the reversal. They are exactly the same information that we have in the breakout as the reversal. Let's jump to the section that is just after, which is the news filter. For news filter, make sure to define this URL in your settings in MetaTrader. Also, you need to know that this EA has news backtestable. So you can really backtest all the news, all the events, all what you need about the news and the backtest. Go to the website. You have all the details about this news filtering and how you can do backtesting. It would help you really to match whatever you are backtesting with whatever you're going to get in real life. When activated, you can choose the currency. Mainly if I'm trading NASDAQ, well, it's on the USD that I'm concerned about. I can choose the name of the keywords of the news I'm gonna be interested in. Those news are from investing.com. So make sure whatever you are putting as keyword to be the exact same as in investing, or a sub word of the entire news. You can simply skip holidays whenever we have holidays on USD. So in USA, we just don't trade. We can skip an entire day not trading, or we can just wait for the window to be there, news window, and stop trading. We can also put actions based on news. So let's say before 30 minutes of the news, what should I do? So keep all trade, closing them, setting even, and so on. That will help us really to, especially for those who are on prop firms, to really manage the way they are handling trading during news and making sure not to lose any challenge or any account just for breaching the news conditions on their prop firms. You have day filter, which is easy, which day you want to trade and which you not trade. An example here, I just activated it on a Sunday. And here I have a range just behind, and I didn't take that trade because basically that day filter have failed, so no trade has been done. The last or the next one are obfuscation. Obfuscation, basically, this is used for one, hide your stop loss and take profit. The A will manage. The broker will not know about it. The risk you have a position that is running and you stopped your PC, the EA stopped or whatever, you need to pay attention to this because in this case, your position is no more managed. That's the risk. The advantage, your broker does not know about it and you can trade freely without having those there. However, you're not obliged to put hidden stop loss. You can just put it at true and you're good. Also, when you activate obfuscation, basically the entry price is shifted by milliseconds and is shifted by price, so by points. And you define those margin. So for example, I want the price to be shifted between 0 and 5 or between 0 and 1000 milliseconds, so 1 second. So I will randomly, when a position is there, to take this position after a random, let's say, time with a random offset. This is, frankly speaking, is good whenever you have a set and you want to trade multiple prop firm account and you don't want to fall in that trap of copy trading. So this way you can, frankly speaking, do it in a way to hide or take the same trades, but they are not really on the same time or the same price and so on. And finally, I'm going to talk about the drawdown limiter, a method drawdown limiter that works with the majority of the case that we prop firm traders or private account traders we are looking for. The daily loss calculations basically handle only daily loss calculation. I've included really the name of some of the prop firms here just for you to have an easy, let's say, selection of whatever you want to do. We can basically have multiple options when doing trading stop. So I'll let you go over it and don't hesitate to read the details on the website or ask me questions on the community. So you have those levels or those triggers. You can define your percentage. You can manage the reset based on even your UTC depends on whatever prop firm or accounts you are working with. So you have different configuration, even broker time, even UTC, even you just configure your time zone and you do it. You have a safety buffer. That is really when you are moving from day to another day. I explained this in drawdown limiter, the A that I have. It's a complete page about what is the rollover and how we handle it. I'm gonna leave the link inside the description below so you can also read it. And finally, you have actions on a breach. So you can just block new trades, block the A trades only, or close all the trades. And once the breach is done, basically you're gonna pause until next day. That's you can set no, but the ideally when you use drawdown limiter is not to open new positions, and you can basically act on the magic numbers. So 0 is all trades, and basically that's what you should do whenever you have a breach on a prop firm. Usually what you do is really to close everything. And you enable debug logs just to see what's happening on the drawdown limiter side. So that's it for the entry. Let's jump back to the strategy tester. So just I show you how usually it works. I'm gonna just start a back test and later we're gonna do a back test on a longer period. So here, basically it's going on. I'm gonna just make it a little bit slower. Whenever you have, for example, here we have a breakout and we have a reversal. Both of them are basically not token. And why? Because you have that trend fade. So based on the trend filter, we're not in a position either to take a breakout or a reversal. Let me move it faster. So here, whenever we are waiting for, let's say, the range to form, basically we see here we're waiting, same for breakout and for reversal engine. Let's play. All right, here basically we have the trend also that fade. So we're not taking any trade or any breakout. We'll let it run. January was a very good month. I have a live signal on it, so check it out. Same for here. The trend is still not established. So we have passed 3 days without really taking a trade because we still didn't establish a trend. And fourth days, here we have really a trade. Unfortunately, it's a loss. What's good to know is you have all the information that are here. In the backtester, basically, you have only one strategy, but on your account, when you have multiple strategies, you cannot see the performance of all the strategy that you have on your accounts. So let us keep it running just to show you different cases. So here also we have a day filter. So based on the day filter, we have pass or not. Here also trend didn't pass for this day. Let's make it a little bit faster. Same, no trend for this day. So it's really selective. It's not something that will trade every day. It's really selective and it will just select the trade that goes well. You can activate that trend folder as you wish, but this is usually what is done. So here it's basically a good trade. Same here, same here. So it's a little bit quick, but you can see it down here in the performance panel. So until now we have 4,900 during January. Here it's a loss, so we can see it. I'm not sure if you have paid attention, but whenever a trade is closed, you have a status and you know if it is closed based on a stop loss, based on a drawdown limiter, if it is manually closed. All of this, you have it inside the panel. I'm just running this slowly just to show you a little bit that here the status is active. And here when it is closed, basically EOD, end of the day, that's why the trade is closed. So it's good for you to know what's happening also and to really monitor what's happening on your trade. And basically that's a little bit how it works. Let me now just show you a little bit the results that we can have. If I simply go to custom period and I go to 2022 as example, so 5 years back or 2021, just let you know, I'm doing 1 minute OHLC, and this is the way the EA works. If you're not using trading stop, partial take profit, you were not obliged really to do your backtesting on Realtek. Realtek is only for trading stop and partial take profit. Other than that, you're good. You can just do your backtesting on 1 minute OHLC. It's up to you, but that's the way I'm doing it right now. And I'll go to the graph. And you can see this is based on the last 5 years. So really, it's very, very, very good results. The idea of this EA is not really to run one instance. You can still run one instance. Frankly speaking, you're gonna do better than what the Nasdaq or the US 500 is doing in today in a yearly basis. But the idea of this EA is really to build a portfolio, build multiple strategy, multiple breakout strategy. I'm gonna share with you by default the Nasdaq strategy, and over time, with the community, we're gonna build multiple other strategies. I have already some that are already and being tested. You're gonna propose some else, and we're gonna build together a very magical portfolio for the CA. So that's the idea. Not sure if I have something else to show you, but all what I need to know that you have a lot of information on this website. You can just go check the guide, check the details. You have the live results. Those are on a account on Tickmill that is running for the last week since I'm registering this video. So you have the roadmap because we still have a lot of features that are coming. We're gonna continue to update the EA and get it as soon as you can. The price that we have now is really for limited number of spots. As soon as those spots are filled out, we're gonna increase the price. Also, we're gonna increase the price as soon as we are releasing new features that are still not in the EA. If you have any suggestion or any feature request, I'm more than happy to hear out. Just contact us or just for those who are in the community to tell me to talk to me on the community and we're gonna see how we're gonna move forward on those. Until the release and until the next video on this EA, I'm just gonna tell you thanks a lot. Subscribe to my channel, like this video and hit the bell button so you can receive all the notification and make sure once this EA is out to grab it at the lowest price possible. This is a really revolutionary EA. So be part of the revolution. Thank you.